Welcome everybody to another episode of Lessons in Learning. Going to get on with this one on the topic of I am relaxed. I don't know how many times you guys might have heard. I know myself, I've said it quite a few times. A teacher comes around, works on the shoulders, relax, relax. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I am relaxed. I don't understand. Well, what I want to get into with this one is there's two basic aspects to the relaxation. There is, in this moment, I am feeling more relaxed than I just was feeling a few moments ago. And we'll say, I'm relaxed. There is, my muscles right now are not flexed, so therefore I'm relaxed. But what we're talking about with the Taijiquan is over time, especially, we're developing, really deep states of physical relaxation, probably also mental, emotional and stuff, but most notably felt or seen, physically in the physical body. This relaxation, what's interesting is, over time, the physical body, it even starts to be structurally aligned different based off of how much the body has become relaxed. It's not a collapsed relaxation. We still have to maintain our structure, but the body can reach deeper and deeper states of relaxation. One of the important things about this is, as we relax, I found for myself, especially character flaws or defects, emotional things that I had been kind of pushing to the side. If I'm going to relax and open my body to deeper levels, these things want to try to come out. I think it's the body's probably natural way of kind of clearing and cleansing and re-healing is through this process of relaxation. And there's a lot of different ways to increase relaxation. We can just, control our breathing some, and depending on how we control our breathing, this will impose relaxation on the body. Specific postures or movements, can help. There's deeper practices too that if you get in with a teacher in a school, potentially become available after enough trust and things are been established. There's also, we need to look at, this is my feeling, but we also need to look at the outer aspects of our life. If I'm working a job that is extremely hectic and stressful and is creating a lot of psychological, mental, whatever, emotional tension, this is potentially counteracting, a lot of what I'm doing with my Tai Chi. So at some point, if we become serious about our practice, then we need to kind of look at the rest of our, excuse me, we need to look at the rest of our lives and try to determine, what is hindering my ability to maintain peace, peace of mind, relaxation. It could be many, many things, often family situations, boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever type of connection, relations, these things can create a lot of tension and chaos in our lives. And it'll keep kind of feeding this back even though we're trying to let it go. So it's really important to take a look at these different aspects once you become, decide that you want to be sincere about this. Because the goal is an over time change in deeper and deeper states of relaxation that gives access to all the other elements. If we don't really relax, there's nothing you can really get to at that point. And I think that's potentially probably why Tai Chi is considered one of the internal styles of Kung Fu, is because it's all the elements of it that are become accessed through this relaxation and opening up of the body. As we continue to do it, it's really amazing how the body, changes. But many times, I thought I was relaxed, and in that moment, I was more relaxed than I typically are, and I wasn't tensing and flexing, but I had not achieved any deeper states of relaxation. I think that's where a lot of the health benefits and everything come from. But it's also important to look at the Chinese culture, they have lots of really interesting things when it comes to this. I almost feel like the Yellow Emperor, or whoever it was that developed Chinese culture, I feel like he infused all sorts of, Buddhist, Taoist elements. Like before it was even considered probably Buddhism or Taoism, but these types of things that change your lives and keep you healthy and stable, like these things are inherently infused in Chinese culture. So it's much easier for most Chinese people, it's changing some today, but in the past in general, more easy for Chinese people to access a lot of this. Because for us Americans, it's not only learning Tai Chi, we also have to change the rest of our lives that have been all out of whack for a long time. So it's kind of like we got twice the work. We can do it, but it's important to recognize what it is we need to do. So I made a little graph, kind of a little cartoon thing, I'll pop up to kind of show this, kind of put a little explanation to it. But I also want to touch on another topic as well. I was talking with a friend of mine, and we were coming up with analogies to how to determine, one, to choose a good teacher, and how to get to the higher goals in this development. And his thinking on this was, he thought of it almost like a race. He's like, reaching your finish line was kind of how he described it. And the first part of that was, it's important to define what your finish line is. Because if my goal was just for relaxation, I wasn't interested in combat, I wasn't interested in spiritual development, it's important for me to recognize that, so I got a clear idea of what my finish line is. So then when I go to the next steps, of looking for a teacher, and looking at the teacher's path, style, that helps match up with my focus and my goal. Because, first, we want to define what our finish line is. We kind of want to look at the different races, quote unquote races that are being run, so we can decide which one we want, whether we want to focus mostly on just the relaxation and health, whether we're interested in combat, and self-defense, all these types of aspects, or whether we're interested in spiritual development, trying to develop internally to the point of enlightenment, to spiritual awakening, to clarity and perception, overcoming all the things that we have possibly taken on that have been not beneficial to us. And we have access to all these things, independently, or there are some possible teachers and styles and lineages and things where these are all available together. This is just the core aspects of the art. So, we realize it's really important that we need to determine what our goal is. We need to look for somebody who has already ran this goal, this race. If I'm wanting to learn to just be really good at relaxation and health, and I go and choose a teacher whose focus is on combat, I may not achieve my goal very well. You know what I mean? So we need to look at first what we really want and what our finish line is, and then we need to start looking, what the possibilities are and what the teacher is, and if he's already run this race, can he help me? Because more than likely, if the teacher's already run the race, he has a clear understanding of what it takes to go through this path. From my experience, oftentimes too, the teacher knows where he had shortcomings or struggles, so he can prepare you ahead of time for these and often take you beyond what he was capable of. As I'm going through this process and learning, I'm making videos to try to share, for other people, because this can help other people possibly get through that more smoothly. It may help bring the awareness of these different things quicker, so the path can be more clear and more precise, the goal more clear, and the possible growth greater. Researching carefully the guides of the finish line, choosing the right person, the race for you. And then another last thing about this was, is this a short-term or a long-term race or goal? There's many things that can give results quickly, but those particular things usually almost always fall off in time. Like a good example was like sugar. Sugar will make you feel good right away. Like candy, I'll feel good right now. You know what I mean? I can really enjoy this and think this is a great thing. But as I continue to do that over time, the effects are great in the beginning and then drop. And when determining a style, a lineage, a teacher, it's important to take a look at that. Is this just going to be a quick, I'm going to grow, and have great experiences right off the bat, but this may end up turning into bad things or nothing? Because my experience is the traditional Chinese way of Taijiquan, at least, it starts off very, very slow. The growth is very slow. There's a lot of work involved in the beginning, preparing the body, and the mind and everything, getting through these deeper states of relaxation and getting things prepared. So it's almost like an exponential growth curve. It'll start off pretty slow, and it starts to grow over time, and then eventually, it just exponentially goes off. What I'm finding in some of the other things is you could feed it. Anybody could potentially feed it in a way where right in the beginning you're having great experiences and having fun, and it seems so great, but then it may never really turn into much. It's important to determine what it is you're looking for. If you're looking for just some enjoyment right now and entertainment, and you just love this idea of Kung Fu and Tai Chi and things, then you may really just enjoy taking it that way. But if your goal is to try to reach the highest goal that's possible for you, and you want to see how high in the Tai Chi development you can go, then it's important to take careful notice that it's a long-term goal. It's something that's going to require work over, usually many, many years. And it's important to notice that in your teacher and in your lineage, your style, your race, all these types of things. So I hope these things bring some clarity. I'll continue making these videos. I got 3 or 4 more ideas lined up that I want to talk about. But I think that's pretty much it for today. I hope you guys are enjoying them. I hope they're being beneficial. If there's any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, things you'd want me to possibly talk about, if it's beyond my understanding at this point, I can shift it over and talk to my teacher. More than likely, he'll have the awareness, and maybe he'll make a video or write an article or something. So, good luck out there. Enjoy your practice. Work hard. It's not easy. Got to put in the work, but the rewards are great. So, take care.